And then this, I'm a little confused why there's a top hat. Is this the Monopoly Man? You know what? That's my new headcanon. The Monopoly Man is a god and is trying to take over the SCP universe. I said it. Don't come after me. That's just he's an all-knowing being. This entire thing is spreading capitalism. All right. It is Saulsuesor, SCP-179 Animation by Don Gendons. I am mispronouncing everything. I do apologize, genuinely. I cannot pronounce stuff today. But let's get right on into this. This is only 5 minutes long, so very. Oh, wait, hold on. We're in 1940s? They didn't have a camera this good. Let's not lie. Astrophysicists working with the SCP Foundation detected unusual reflections of sunlight near the sun. Subsequently, imaging revealed that these reflections are of humanoid entity, identified as a human female of oh, indetermination ethnicity, estimated to be between 20 and 40 years old. The entity's entire surface is covered in or made of a matte black material, and its hair also composed of this substance extended over 34 kilometers in length. How long is 34 kilometers in miles? Because American doesn't know what a kilometer is, unfortunately. What the fuck is a kilometer? The entity was designated as SCP-179. Whoa, okay.
Bonjour, je suis le guetteur.
I am the
Je
lookout.
m'appelle Saulsuesor. Je vois souvent. Je préviens souvent. Presque toujours quand il le faut. De cette façon, il n'y a plus de vie. Est-ce que tu aimes mon frère?
Do you like my
Je
brother?
l'aime bien aussi.
I like him too.
Il est grand.
He is big.
Tellement grand.
So big.
Et donc très chaleureux.
And so very
Il prend
warm.
soin du feu et aime la lumière. Il me caresse avec ses arcs et sa voix et me renouvelle. Il est la source de toute vraie lumière. Il est votre source.
She is saying that her brother is the sun. And that, okay, that's interesting. Because does this mean that the sun is an SCP himself? Because if so, I find that kind of funny. I can't ask that question because apparently God is an SCP in this universe. And I wish I was lying. I'm not. SCP, I think it starts with a 3, is God. It starts with a 3. It's like 305, 304? I can't remember. And then we have Cain and Abel, who are SCPs. SCP-1, the Gate Guardian, which is garden the guarding the Garden of Eden. Jesus, that is a lot of wording right there. Guarding the Garden of Eden. Try saying that 5 times fast. It is awful. He is your source. That's true. First recorded movements of SCP-179. Raised an arm towards a previously undetected interplanetary object on a collision course with Earth. She's warning. She's telling you, hey, this is on its way. That's pretty cool. Does it hit Earth? 1,300 dead. Yes, it did hit. Ooh. The impact severely affected the sea, leading to widespread contamination with a amyloidously mu- mucus substance. This event was accompanied by several anomalous phenomena in the area of impact. The Foundation continued studying 179 through the years, while she warned them of several threats coming towards Earth, both anomalous and non-anomalous in nature. Over time, the Foundation came to view 179 as a valuable asset for detecting and preventing extraterrestrial threats, leading to her reclassification from safe to Thaumiel. I was about to say, this seems like a Thaumiel type SCP, which is actually really cool. This is my first ever Thaumiel. All the others have been safe, Keter, Euclid. Never had a Thaumiel. This is the first one. Well, take it back. I think SCP-3000 is Thaumiel, but I would put him as a Keter class, really. Because even though he makes the slime to do the uh, forget stuff, I still wouldn't do anything like that. I'm now a little confused. 179 is brothers, or is a sibling to the son, and she stays right next to her sibling. Why, if she is warning Earth, does she warn Earth due to how we treat her brother? And possibly now how she would be treated since she's now being classified as a Thaumiel. And it might seem a little confusing because her brother was respected, was worshipped in multiple different cultures. I think it was the Mayans who praised the sun. I know Egyptians did, and they had a sun god. But I think it was the Mayans that worshipped just the sun, due to it helping do crops and all. I could be wrong. I can't remember what culture it is, but I think I got it right. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, please. Um, but with how it gets, that treatment, I think that could be why this SCP, instead of just letting stuff happen to us, instead tries helping us, due to our first instinct is to think, really, how people help us.
Je suis trop gros.
I am too big,
Et tu es trop petit.
and you are too small.
Il y a une mer de rien et des
There's a
îles de
sea of
lumière.
nothing and islands of light.
Je suis leur rivage.
I am their shore.
À vous viennent les monstres.
To you come the
Le
monsters,
poids martelant du vide.
the pounding fist of void,
Les dieux désireux au-delà de notre connaissance.
the longing gods beyond our knowledge. That one feels like a reference to SCP-001, genuinely. The Scarlet King. I think the reason why I'm making that comparison is the knowledge of what the Scarlet King was too much for the researcher at the time, and he ended up killing the final children of the Scarlet King and then became the very first one of this new order for him. And I think the whole reason why was because he's more of a concept, a knowledge. And so I think that's kind of who she's talking about. And I think this is also a reference in a way to the afterlife in SCP, with uh one no 049. 049, he's fighting the pestilence, which we decided was death. And I think this is also a reference to that because, of course, when you die, there's the gods and all. But then we also have the actual god, which was classified. Oh, and then in Three Portlands, you have Loki. Completely forgot about that one, too. There's so many references here. Okay. I am the lookout. I see the ripples in their wake. You want me to pledge my sight known to you, only to you, so you, only you, can be greater.
Même si vous trouvez, retenez, défendez. Tu veux que je sois à toi. Ce n'est pas pour cela que je suis ici.
That is not why I'm
Il
here.
y en a d'autres.
There are
D'autres
others.
que j'assiste. D'autres, je préviens. D'autres au-delà de vos minces murs de pâte grises et sèches. D'autres sont hors de portée de vos satellites fatigués. D'autres au-delà de la maison, de notre maison. D'autres que je connais. D'autres que j'aime. D'autres ne vous intéresseront pas. D'autres qui l'ont précédé. D'autres que j'aime. Chèrement. Et pourtant,
And yet,
seul mon frère est mon
only my
égal.
brother isn't equal to me. Oh no, that just feels saddening right there. She wants to help others. She's seen countless, people she's tried helping, saving them, warning them. She is a major lookout. And the only person in the entire galaxy that is on the exact same level as her is her brother. And she is always right next to her brother. That's gotta be lonely. It's gotta be saddening, really. Imagine for a moment the only person in the entire world that you could be near is your sibling. Because that is the only person that is the exact same level as you. Uh, yeah, I feel like piecing. I wonder if gods are behind the cosmics and entities. Also, there's a Scarlet King shadow on that galaxy. Yeah, and the Foundation wants her to themselves, and she stopped responding. Yeah, that's another thing. The SCP Foundation wants to keep stuff to themselves. I think that is why you have places that make sense, like in Three Portlands. It's a safe haven, which is strange. Yeah, hold on, this is it. That's Scarlet King in the middle, because that's the horns, and there's the eyes, but this is someone else. These are two different people. Hold on. This, I don't know if anybody has ever seen, but there is a uh, drawing of Lilith. Uh, what is she called? She's like the mother of all demons, I think. And that's what it reminds me of. And then this, I'm a little confused why there's a top hat. Is this the Monopoly Man? You know what? That's my new headcanon. The Monopoly Man is a god and is trying to take over the SCP universe. I said it. Don't come after me. That's just he's an all-knowing being. This entire thing is spreading capitalism. All right. I will say I really like that, so I'm giving that a like. That was very good. All right, so this is Mr. Illustrated, SCP-179. Mr. Illustrated always does amazing work. He is one of the few people that if I'm ever confused, I will always immediately go to watch. So, let's get right on into this. I always love that he does the tape sound effects.
Good day, everybody, and welcome to SCP Illustrated, Entry Log 41. Today we'll be looking at SCP-179. Please note this is a thermal SCP.
I really like the way that looks.
Description: SCP-179 is a humanoid entity located at a constant distance of approximately 40,000 kilometers from the south polar region of the solar photosphere, locked to the rotation axis of Sol. However, it does not orbit it. The most recent recordings of SCP-179 indicate that it seems to maintain a continuous orbit around the center of the galaxy. Through the combined efforts of 43 years of continuous surveying, the external appearance of SCP-179 has been defined as a human female of undetermined ethnic group of between 20 and 40 years of age. Its entire bodily surface is covered in or composed of a matte black material. Its hair appears to be composed of this material, measures over 34 kilometers long, and is constantly pushed away by solar wind. However, this part of SCP-179 seems to reflect variable amounts of sunlight, this reflection being the phenomenon that indicated its existence to the Foundation astrophysicists during 1940.
I'm glad that kind of stays as the main point is when. Oh, hold on. Let me move. Yay! I'm over here. I'm the new sun. See, she stays around me. Nah, hold on. Let me move me down here. Okay. I do want to ask why they couldn't just say that she stays around the sun, because that seems to be the main thing.
Several markings or tattoos are placed throughout its bodily midline. Judging from their brightness, these markings might be of metallic composition and of a golden hue. These tattoos include several symbols that have been identified as those typically representing the Sun and the 6 innermost planets of the solar system according to medieval alchemy, including, in this order, the symbol of gold in the subject's forehead right underneath the hairline, the symbol of Mercury under the nose circling both the lips, the symbol of copper between the medial ends of its clavicles.
Wait, hold on. Have been identified as those typically representing the sun and the 6 innermost planets of the solar system, according to the medieval alchemy, including it in this order. Alright, so it first starts with gold, mercury, then copper. So gold would be the sun due to its brightness. Mercury for, oh god, I'm trying to remember my solar system. Okay, yeah, mercury for mercury, copper for, fuck, I almost said the wrong planet there for a second. Yeah, okay, it's making sense so far. I'm going to seem like an idiot real quick. Hold on. Yeah, it's Venus. I, what's bad is my brain immediately jumped to Jupiter because somebody said Jupiter, and I was like, that's wrong. Why am I going there? Yeah, so Mercury for Mercury, Copper for Venus. I wonder what's going to be for Earth.
Of Mercury under the nose circling both the lips, the symbol of copper between the medial ends of its clavicles, with anatomically correct shape of a human heart placed over the location where a heart would be in a female human of the same apparent age and bodily proportions. The symbol of iron in the upper abdominal region.
Okay, so right there, uh, that's Copper in a circle and cross, I believe. So Sun, Mercury, Venus, right there, right above the heart section almost. Right underneath is the Earth. That one's Mars, right above the belly button.
The symbol of tin in the lower abdominal region. Part of a final symbol in the pelvic region. While the anatomy of this region makes its clear observation difficult, it has been hypothesized that the symbol of lead is also present and complete in the perineum region. SCP-179 keeps its ventral side orientated towards Earth most of the time, but it has been observed to look towards other areas on occasion.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. The reason I was looking at our ways is because as a lookout for other things within the system. So yeah, that makes sense. But with it looking at Earth most of the time, that's making me think that Earth is probably the one being aimed at the most, especially due to us looking more and more into this stuff, so it happens more. It's the reason why is due to the fact of it's like whenever you realize something, it happens more often. Non-trivial Cognito hazard detected. I think it has something to do about her. That sun, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter. I think that's how it goes.
Special Containment Procedures. SCP-179 remains beyond the reach of currently known groups of interest, including the Foundation. All containment efforts are to be focused towards a Grade 3 emission cover-up, coupled with the discouragement or sabotage of exploration and research missions that attempt to study Sismic Cure in space, and orbits that go through it.
Administrative Warning ES-026. As of SCP-179 has been reclassified Thaumiel. All involved personnel with a clearance level below 4/179 will be either promoted or reassigned to fit this new classification, depending on their relevance for the continuated surveillance and cover-up operations, as directed by the current head researcher for SCP-179. All reassigned personnel will be subject to Polymath 08 memory redaction therapy, or D-class amnestics in a high-dosage grade, with a maximum retrograde effect of 10 years of experience, depending on the time spent working at SCP-179 prior to its reclassification. SCP-179's existence will be subject to an orbital misinformation standardized intelligence obstruction and neutralization campaign. As per Omission Protocol 4, Items 4.5, 4.6, and 4.7, most documentation related to SCP-179 has been classified Level 4 Top Secret. Any further data related to SCP-179 has been classified Level 5, Thaumiel, and will be made available only to authorized 5/179 personnel. Be advised that unauthorized access to SCP-179 research materials will be considered a Type 3B offense. Unauthorized data management while lacking appropriate global clearance, punishable by compulsory memory redaction therapy with immediate reassignment and/or demotion.
It makes so much sense now how they're able to hide her. Okay, so this right here helped explain it. You see all that right there? See how that looks right there with the things? They're able to just hide this as a shot of this. It's the solar winds that get knocked off the sun. It's they call it solar flares, I believe. That's how they're going to be able to hide her. It makes so much sense. It's just the knockoff part, right? Yeah, it's how they're able to get away with her being there.
SCP-179 is sensitive to all radiation in the electromagnetic spectrum, intelligent, and able to communicate through multiple anomalous means, including but not limited to radio and laser communications interference. Only one instance of SCP-179 communication with Foundation personnel has occurred thus far, where SCP-179 proves to be fluent in French. As this contact...
Why is it always French? I mean this genuinely. It is always French. She does French. 049 does French. The only one that I know for a fact doesn't do French was 3 Portlands because it was British. But even that's probably French. I wish I was lying. Every single one that can talk does French at some point. Well, take it back. The only ones that don't do French are the children of the Scarlet King. And that could just be because he doesn't do French. Because he was based in... Oh, what was the... There was a certain place. I think it was in Africa that he goes to. And when he's in Africa, he had the 2 time travelers. I think that's where he came from.
Did not result in the clear statement of SCP-179's intentions towards the Foundation and its mission, all efforts must be made to prevent contact by any known groups of interest of SCP-179. Misinformation operations and other preemptive measures have been deployed. Most recorded movements performed by SCP-179 have been related to extraterrestrial threats, both anomalous or non-anomalous in nature, on a collision or orbital insertion course with the Earth. These threatening items have been identified as capable of causing CK-class reconfiguration events of
Ooh,
diverse
Jesus.
impact in human societies and earthly life in general if allowed to reach Earth. If impact with Earth or orbital insertion occurs without proper response and containment by Foundation operatives, these items of interest may be capable of causing an XK-class end-of-the-world scenario. SCP-179 will usually address an item or items of interest by pointing at them with an arm, and when more than one item of interest is present, will be able to generate additional limbs anatomically identical to its arms as needed. Survey data indicates that SCP-179 performs each motion specific to each item of interest addressed, such as raising different fingers or moving its arms in an array.
I will say, I'm going to learn how to speak French. That way, one day I can just start talking in French and confuse everybody, and then I myself will become an SCP. Because all SCPs seem to be French in a way. It's just how it is.
As of yet undecipherable patterns at fixed intervals, but whether this motion contains any information or not has not been determined to date. The limits of SCP-179's detection capacities have not been clearly ascertained. While SCP-179 has been able to detect potentially harmful objects beyond the trans-Neptunian region, those threats had been detected by other surveillance and exploration systems, usually under Foundation control, or in at least 3 separate instances were visible to the naked eye from Earth. However, they had not been immediately recognized as threats. It has been hypothesized that SCP-179 may only detect and react to active threats that remain detectable to other observing parties without the cis-Neptunian region, while being able to unerringly determine their harmful nature. All items of interest approaching Earth within cis-Neptunian space that had considerable destructive capacity have been detected by SCP-179 without failure, often when no observers known to the Foundation were aware of them.
I wonder if there's. It's gonna sound strange, but I wonder if there's a little bit of time travel in it, or premonition. That's the word, premonition. With SCP-179, she's able to look into the future a little bit in order to determine what is considered a threat, what is considered not a threat, and taking what is considered a threat and give a warning with it, instead of her just guessing.
As such, SCP-179 and all personnel, orbital equipment and facilities dedicated to its surveillance remain the most reliable early warning system the Foundation possesses to detect and, when possible, prevent potentially dangerous incursions within space. SCP-179 is able to determine which interplanetary objects pose a threat to Earth, humankind, or the earthly biosphere, which makes it a critical asset for the Composite Orbital Early Warning System project of the Foundation, which currently involves SCP, and SCP XCPOA-003 to 0421, Site 34, 103, 9808, Site, and Command Site, as well as several.
I'm going out on a very big limb here. Very big. Alright, I want y'all to realize this is a very big guess. One of those SCPs, I believe, is 001, because this is a warning system. If y'all remember my Gate Guardian reaction, the SCP Foundation got a a system thing from the future regarding it moving. I believe that it is a part of the warning system.
Personnel embedded within different space agencies and international consortia related to space exploration. All data of interest related to or obtained through SCP-179 will be marked COEWS-179, which will be considered high-priority information to all Foundation departments. Addendum: SCP-17901. Notable movements of SCP-179. 13th of December 1940. First recorded movement of SCP-179. The entity that had remained with both arms crossed raises an arm towards a previously undetected interplanetary object on a collision course with Earth. After its impact in an event that damaged the city of extensively with large quantities of anomalous mucus secretion and left more than 1,300 dead, which combined with the anomalous phenomena related to remaining central item reclassified SCP-179 returned to its original position.
with the mucus, I wish it would explain what the mucus did. If it was like the mucus took away memory, I would immediately go, oh, that's 3,000. That would be its arrival. But it's also 1940. 1940, it wouldn't make sense for that. Trying to think of if any of the SCPs I've reacted to would have shown up around this time, and none of them do.
22nd of September 1942. Sixth recorded movement of SCP-179. The entity raises an arm towards on a collision course with Earth. Item of interest crashes near Auckland, New Zealand on the 4th of October 1942. Item separates upon impact into several devices of mechanical nature. Recently formed sub-entities with minimal civilian casualties. Once Foundation operatives contain the item proper, which is reclassified and terminating most sub-entities, SCP-179 returns to its original position. Mobile Task Force proceeds to track and destroy all remaining sub-entities.
I'm now confused. I want to know how long the SCP Foundation has been around. And I wonder if it has anything to play with the time travelers that were in the Scarlet King reaction. Because now, because if there is, it now murkies up the water of when they were actually found.
18th recorded movement of SCP-179. The entity raises his right arm towards. Up to date, the entity has kept one of its primary arms, shifting from one to the other as necessary, pointing in the same direction. 1st of March 1949. 23rd recorded movement of SCP-179. The entity raises an arm towards an armor-class asteroid that has adopted a collision course with Earth. The Foundation uses a combination of several SCP objects to launch a remote-controlled interplanetary vehicle that acts as a gravitory tow line. This mission is announced a success on the 3rd of May 1951.
Hey, 2 years.
SCP-179 returns to its original position. Note: surveying elements observed that the entity performed a motion that could have been a nod. Reclassification request to Euclid status filed and denied.
The one before this said that it keeps an arm out, right? In one specific way. And if it has to switch arms, it switches arm and then points. With it staying an arm in that one direction, it makes me seem like there's something that way. It's just we can't observe it yet.
13th of December 1998. 403rd recorded movement of SCP-179. The entity stops watching the Earth for 2 days and 13 hours when it looks towards the Jovian system. Once this interval is over, SCP-179 looks at Earth again. 9th of September 2002. 487th recorded movement of SCP-179. SCP-179 points at an armed Type 11 dimensional weapon. Launched from Area 08 to test SCP-179's detection capacities. Item remains in a primed configuration for minutes, ready to be launched at a test location on Earth. It is not identified by SCP-179 until it is 3,670 kilometers above the Earth's surface, when SCP-179 reacts to it as a threat and points at it. Device subsequently reconfigured to a standby configuration and redirected towards its primary target. Still in transit from the Kuiper belt, SCP-179 returns to its previous position.
They aimed a weapon at themselves in order to test if this thing could detect it as a threat. I just want to make sure I'm understanding correctly. I feel like when she's warning others, she looks at them. She doesn't point at them. So, unless she's looking past us and we're in the way of something else that's behind us, which I guess that is true because the Earth, the space isn't a flat thing. It's a, this thing, right? All over and around. So there's probably one behind us. But at the same time, if there's something behind us and she's actually talking to them, then it would get probably confusing. And why would it be directly behind us? If anything, it would be above us, below us. It wouldn't just be on the same plane, right? So I think what she's doing is she's looking at us and she's pointing, like over here, right? It's just we don't have the tools to observe. And if we can't observe it, she's going to keep that hand up until she looks at someone else to then point for them. But that's just me thinking, right? Because why would you look at the person that you're talking to?
16th of October 2003. Contact with SCP-179 is achieved via the -2 probe. Subsequent movements registered in Addendum SCP-17902. SCP-179 reclassified thermal. See Addendum SCP-17902. Addendum SCP-17902. Events of the 16th of October 2003. SCP-179 was first approached by the -2 probe, a microsatellite equipped with multiple recording, analysis, and communication devices incorporated into the probe in a clandestine operation. The probe acted as a relay for the -2 probe and Foundation mission control. Contact and communication with the entity were not foreseen nor programmed. When visual contact with SCP-179 was established, obtaining an unprecedentedly clear, very high-resolution image of its surface, the entity began to move its lips, forming the phenomenon of a greeting in spoken French. What follows is a complete translation of the exchange.
Hello. I am the lookout. My name is Saulsuesor.
Saulsuesor?
My name is Saulsuesor.
Saulsuesor.
Do you like my brother? I like him too. He is big. So big. And so very warm. If you want to talk to me, please use your satellite to weave talk to me. It will be easier than coming here. Probably.
Entity remains immobile until 1755-53. Researchers assigned to SCP-179 detect this movement. Level 3 researcher Thomas Graham, who is fluent in French, is selected by head researcher to conduct a possible exchange of SCP-179. The -2 probe is used as a radio relay from this point onward. SCP-179 is able to receive, understand, and transmit radio communications. SCP-179's transmission readers a monotone, featureless human voice that speaks in French. The subsequent exchange occurs with a 16 minutes and 39.6 seconds delay between each message, corresponding to the distance between SCP-179 and Earth and return. That will be omitted in the rest of this document.
Who are you?
My name is Saulsuesor. I am the lookout. I behold. I often see. I often warn. Almost always when I have to. That way, there's further life.
What do you mean, the lookout?
It's me.
We have noticed the significance of your movements. Who do you report to?
To those who know where to look. To you. To those who want to look. Not just you, but you too.
When you say brother, are you referring to the sun?
He is my brother, Sowell.
Swell. I feel like the name is a translation, if that makes sense. Suel meaning son. Suel, Susor. I feel like the last part of that name means sister in a way, if that makes sense. I feel like there's a reason that it is the way that it is, if that makes sense. I could be wrong, but I feel like there's a translation. Because it wouldn't make sense to just add on to your brother's name. I feel like that's a different language. You know what? I know a way how I can do this. I'm going to prove myself correct. Probably not. I'm gonna try. Well, that's wrong. Y'all ready for this? It says it's sheep. I don't know. It says it's Norwegian, but that doesn't seem right. I don't think it's sheep. Axe, saw. Oh, that's with AI. Nah, that ain't right. Alright. What happens if I add on. Huh, there's nothing. I figured it would be, Arabic or something. But apparently not. Okay. Well, I was wrong. I figured it was a different language. Shows that I didn't think that through. It wasn't a bad idea, though.
He warms me up. He is caring fire and loving light. He caresses me with his arcs and his voice and renews me. He is the source of all true light. He is your source.
Where do you come from?
I was born a child.
The entity nods towards Earth.
For how long have you been in your current location?
I do not want to tell you.
SCP-179 adopts a fetal position, remains looking towards the Earth and pointing at. Face of the entity remains visible from the -2 probe.
How did you reach your current position? How did you acquire the properties you currently possess?
I was grown into a woman. This is how I live now.
Could you give us further details, please?
No.
We would like to know more about you. Why not tell us?
I am sorry. I won't be yours. I can't belong to any one person.
The Foundation's work protects all of humanity, all life on Earth. Don't you find this work of the greatest importance?
Yes, I am doing it. Look upon me and know.
If we have understood your capacities correctly, we believe you could do far more than that. Sharing all the information you have, not just about the dangerous threats against humankind and Earth, could be of great benefit to all parts involved.
I am too big, and you are too small. There is a sea of nothing and islands of light.
Okay, before that happens, she said something that made it a small bit confusing. She said, and I quote, I was grown into a woman. It makes it seem like there wasn't any actual growing up. Said that she was born a child and pointed towards Earth. It makes it seem like there's a chance that this one could have possibly been more towards the factory.
Great benefit to all parts involved.
I am too big, and you are too small. There is a sea of nothing and islands of light. I am their shore. To you come the monsters, the pounding fists of void, the longing gods beyond our knowledge. I am the lookout. I see the ripples in their wake. You want me to pledge my sight no to you, only to you, so you, only you, can be greater. Even if you find, restrain, defend, you want me to be yours. That is not why I am here. There are others. Others I assist. Others I warn. Others beyond your thin walls of grey, dry paste rock. Others beyond the reach of your weary satellites. Others beyond the home, our home. Others I know. Others I love. Others you won't care for. Others that come before. And, overall, others beyond the little walls of rules and bone and laws and flesh and memories and oaths you build around yourselves until you don't even remember them. Others I love dearly, and yet only my brother is an equal to me.
Excuse me, I don't understand what you mean by others. Could you please explain yourself with other words?
But I have no words left.
Closing. Despite several communication attempts, SCP-179 did not perform any other movements nor transmit other messages. Up to this date, SCP-179 has not responded to any messages coming from any Foundation contact team or any other efforts from known groups of interest.
She quit talking to him.
And that concludes SCP-179. I hope you've enjoyed this SCP, and be sure to like and subscribe for more uploads if you did. Next will be another fan submission, and that'll be with us soon enough. I think you're going to enjoy this one. Be sure to add yourselves to the social media so you can find out when that is going to be happening. And if you can't wait that long, then do please become a Patreon. Not only will you be supporting me, the channel, and all the hard work that I do, but also you'll be getting access to all the early images, upload schedules, collaboration news, one-on-one chat, your own sketches, SCP request priority, your name in every video, and so much more. And thank you so much to Sugar Free Shane, Cavo, and Miranda.
Okay. You know what? I actually like this one a lot. That was really good. He always does such a good job. Foundation effed up. They did. But you also, in a way, I can't blame them. If there was a person who had that amount of knowledge, I would want to use it too. Where I think they messed up was how he worded it. He only cared about humanity. There has been so many examples of the SCPs wanting to do good but going about it in a wrong way. I think 049, biggest example. If they cared about 049, they would realize what he's trying to do. They believe they are the good. Exactly. This isn't a battle of good versus bad. And I think that is what the Foundation isn't able to understand. When you understand that there is a multiple ways of looking at it, it is not white, black. This is a spectrum. There is morally wrong, there's morally good. There is physically bad, physically good. There are so many different aspects to everybody, and the Foundation doesn't realize that.